Southwest Florida. Welcome back to Lee Pitts Live. We're here at the Civic Engagement Dunbar community, and of course, Lee Pitts Live is here. Johnny on the spot. Set the scene for you. It's Mount Olive AME Church has put on a education Sunday here. COVID virus testing is taking place. Other health information. Big shout out to Pastor Gibbons, who's the pastor here, who has done a great job. We have people who are out here in cars who come out to witness this event. And, of course, Lee Pitts Live is the media sponsor, and we're here to document it as well. So thrilled to be able to call a couple of political stone hearts, I guess that's the word. They've been around for a minute. What's the word? Two who are gracing us today, who have come out to support the community. So without further ado, let's get to talking to them. We have Melisa and Giovanni.
It's Melisa Giovannelli.
Giovannelli. And one Johnny Streets. Fort Myers City Council, Lee County School Board, District what?
2.
Ward what?
2.
All right, we got the twos in here, the deuces. All right, let's get to know them a bit and find out why it was important for them to come out. We'll start off with you first, Melisa.
Actually, just for me, it's about supporting the community and supporting the black community, especially in this turmoil that's going on. I want everyone to know that they have my support and understanding.
That's great. Mr. Johnny Streets, why did you feel it was important for you to come out? And are we sitting in your ward?
Yes, you are.
City of Fort Myers.
Yes, you are, Lee, and thank you for having us here. As I've always said, we are part of the community, not apart from it. So anything that's going on in the community, we need to be part of it and support it. And we thank those who have gathered here today because we are in a crisis. Mm-hmm. We are in a crisis.
When you say we're in a crisis, what do you mean?
We're in a crisis with the pandemic. That's one. Mm-hmm. We're in a crisis with police brutality and racism. Mm-hmm. And then the third crisis is that we need to get along with each other.
Okay. Now, when you say racism and when you say police brutality, people are looking at you knowing that you are a former sergeant for the Fort Myers Police Department. So you have a more intimate knowledge. How do you define police brutality?
Well, the police officer has to be a public servant. The police officer cannot be the judge, jury, and the executioner. And that comes from commitment of wanting to be here, of wanting to serve, to protect and to serve, not to arrest and give the punishment. Respect of the community. Most people don't know that the community owns law enforcement, not the other way around. So you have to have officers who are committed, respectful of people, and want to care, want to be involved, want to make a difference.
You are up for re-election in the general election that's coming up. Tell people what are they going to get if they re-elect Johnny Streets?
What they've always gotten, on the spot, available, will work hard, don't agree with everybody else, not afraid to be different, but for the good of the people, not me.
Okay. Same thing here. You're up for re-election, but you're in the primaries right now. You're in a battle of the primaries.
Yes, I am.
What are they going to get?
They're going to get a voice for the people. I think my track record has already proved that. I am not the go-along, get-along Sally. I am not part of the establishment. I am separate from that. I am a local realtor, born a native of Lee County. I'm well aware of how Lee County has not progressed as it should have, or as it should. And I'm here to make sure that the education is an economic driver for our community, for everything to be, the opportunities that should be afforded. The American dream should be for everyone, not for someone that makes the most money, someone that has its opportunity. It is to live the American dream, and that dream is their dream, not my dream.
When you hear Black Lives Matter, what does that mean to you? Is that a positive or a negative?
It's actually a positive because we have to understand what Black lives are feeling. And if we can't do that, then we're no better than making that change. We'll not make that change. All that's we're just continuing to the oppression of the situation. So we have to acknowledge it, own it, to be able to move on.
As a school board representative, how do you implement some of the core beliefs or the thoughts around Black Lives Matter?
I actually, something that Pastor Gibbons said just earlier is something that I agree about. I agree that all schools need to be great in each community so people can go to their neighborhood schools. I don't think that they should have to drive across town to get to that school that's the graduation rate is achieving better. That graduation rate should be the same in every school, not just one over another, because that is part of our problem of not dealing with everyone having the opportunity and allowing that opportunity needs to be the same for every single school and student.
And when you say graduation rate, is it fair for me to say that include test scores, standardized test scores should be the same, shouldn't be a large disparity there?
Well, testing's a different
Okay.
story, and that's another argument, I think, because I think that I had two daughters, one that was IB and one that wasn't, and struggled testing and struggled with the FSA, and she's in college right now, and she's doing better than she did in high school. So I think that everyone has the opportunity. You've got to find it, you've got to look for it, and you've got to help everyone along, and that's what I'm here for, is to help everyone along.
So is it fair for me to summarize that colleges should not take the test scores, weighted test scores, as heavily as they should weigh the total education
They
process?
don't. They actually take the SAT and the ACT scores. So that's what should be most important.
Okay.
And we should make sure that kids have the opportunity that are allowed, and you give them the mentoring and you gear that towards graduation if that's what they wanted to graduate. And I mean, not to graduate, but if they want to go on to college, there's still opportunities. There should be opportunities for others to not go on to college.
How can people find out more about your campaign?
Go to Facebook, Melisa Giovannelli for School Board on Facebook, and that I have a website there. And I just love the support. Like my Facebook, because that's all that matters, is just get the word out there, because it's really important that I hold everybody accountable and transparency, and that's what I'm here for.
Okay, we'll come back to you if we can. Johnny Streets, let's go straight to you. When you hear Black Lives Matter, what does that mean to you?
Well, for so long in the history of someone else's story, a lot of our lives didn't matter to certain people. And I like the thing about our lives matter too, because just what I said, to repeat it, for some reasons, even to some of us, we don't seem to think that my brother's life matter. If we did, we wouldn't take it. So
Right.
it's an education for our young people. It's an education for even some of our senior citizens who really don't know what that means and will make the mistake in saying, well, all lives matter. That's true in a sense. But even coming up into slavery, that wasn't always the case.
So Make America Great Again is not necessarily true as a slogan.
Well, that's someone else's slogan.
Okay.
What I'm going to say is that people have five senses, and I would suggest that they use them and understand who they are and try to understand who other people are and what this is all about. There was one thing that I got today that has always been my mantra, and I will continue to be that. It's just a simple question that we ask people to do. Can you love one another? That's all we need to do. We're not going to find a vaccine in this world because too many countries are fighting each other. Even in our own country, if we stop fighting each other and come together, we can solve all these issues. I know we can. We've done it before. We've been here before. This is not new. It's just new to some people. But there's one thing that, Lee, have not been for you, because, see, you bring facts. You don't bring he say, she say. That's the most important thing. But we go back to if we just humble ourselves. Someone asked me the other day 3 things to tell them. Number 1, be kind to somebody today. Number 2, be kind to somebody today. Number 3, please be kind to somebody today.
Okay. I got to get that question to you. Make America Great Again. Sounds like a good slogan to you?
Well, how about let's just love America first. Let's everyone's America right here. How are we different? So for me, he took some of my mine is be humble and be kind, and that's how I live by. It's for me to live by. So I will continue that no matter what I do.
What do you have to say to Pastor Gibbon of Mount Olive AME Church and all the people who were involved in putting this on today? What do you have to say to them?
I say thank you. I think awareness is probably the most important thing, educating the people. And I think that this was a start, and it's trying to bring the community together. And I think that we all need to embrace that.
How are we as a school district managing back to school in the COVID virus atmosphere? Are you happy so far with the progress?
As actually on a daily basis, it's changing. As the numbers increase, it makes me question some of the thought that's been that they've been working on at the task force. I had a lot of emails. Parents and teachers are concerned. Students are concerned. Students want to get back to school. So, and I get that, and I respect that, because we have to respect everyone's ideas. We have to make the decision that's best for everyone. That's going to be a hard one. We're not going to be able to please everyone.
Same question to you, Councilman Streets, as a sitting city councilman, Ward 2. How do you feel that the city of Fort Myers in general is handling the process of movement, education, and safety for the citizens as it relates to the pandemic virus, COVID-19?
Well, I'm a little bit different. I don't think we have moved in the beginning with an urgency that I think we should have.
For example?
I think, the city and other cities in Lee County was waiting to a certain extent on the county to make a move. Lee, I'm in leadership, not followership. And I would counsel or call my city manager every day. What are you waiting on? This is not getting any better. We need to be able to stand on our own 2 feet. If the county want to follow us or other cities, fine. But this is an issue that is not going to go away. So even in the book, Why We Can't wait to see what someone else is going to do, because people are crying, people are dying. We need a savior, we need a vaccine, and we need it now.
I see. The final question to both of you, as we look forward to 2021, what is your hope? What is your hope for 2021, particularly as it relates to race relations? Starting here.
Well, my hope is actually peace. I am hopeful that America can come together, the world can come together, and love one another first. I think that's what we have to focus on. Johnny Streets makes a very good point. I think, for me, it's choose love, kindness first, and I think the rest will follow.
Your thoughts on the images of the Confederate War, the Confederate flag, the statues, everything that represents the Confederate. Do you think it should remain in the public eye?
I believe it's history, and I don't think we can erase history, because if we do, we'll be back to where we are again if we don't remember how we got here. So for me, it should be in a museum. I don't think you destroy it, because you still have to respect history. We didn't get here overnight, and we're not going to fix it overnight either, obviously. And that's concerning, but obviously we're not fixing it overnight.
Okay, we got you on record. Johnny Streets, first of all, what is your hope for 2021? We'll come to the Confederate after that. Go.
Well, first of all, I still believe in hope and change. I still believe in hope and change. In reference to the historic monuments, education is the key of what one believes of what happened at a certain time. But we talked about you dealing with facts. We found it out now that some of these statues were put in places 20, 30 years after the conflict.
Civil War.
Oh.
After the conflict. To send a message to people that we will rise again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
Education,
important.
knowing the facts of how did it get here. Now that it's here, how are we going to deal with it? I have a concern.
Keep that mic close here.
I have a concern that as some of these other statues are destroyed or defaced, and we talked about this the other day, some of our own African American statues are now being defaced and destroyed. You can't fight fire with fire. Somebody need to come with some water.
So, after saying all of that, what is your perspective on where these artifacts should be? Should they stay where they are, nobody deface them, or should they be in a museum, or what have we?
I would submit that we've had some people that make recommendations say they would take them personally. But I do believe if we're going to have a museum for those who want to get educated about what it stood for, what they stood for, well, not on city or county property.
All right, we got you on record. Well, it's been a pleasure having both of you here. My man, look up. It's been a pleasure having both of you here. We're going to move on to Pastor Gibbons, who's moving up here.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming out and joining us on
Thank
Leap This
you.
Live.
Thank
Very
you,
much.
Lee.
We'll be right back.